morning, everybody. Today's day 19. We are heading to Saguaro.
5 miles, turn right onto South Kitty Road.
The west side of the park. We're going to start out at the visitor center, get some ideas on what we can accomplish in a day. So usually the rangers are pretty good about saying, okay, you have one day, here's what you need to do, which is what we did in Big Ranch State Park, and that worked out really well for us. So we're going to do that here too. So anyhow, we'll be glad to share the day. Sorry for the bumpy road. I imagine the heat around here really makes these roads buckle pretty bad.
At least they have an excuse. PA roads are like this and there's no excuse for it.
All right, Shannon, how you liking the roads here in Tucson? The roads are pretty bumpy.
I don't like them and Fran likes them less.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's kind of cool, I love about Arizona and New Mexico, is how they do the murals on the underpasses and the bridges, what they do. I think it's pretty cool artwork that they do on those.
There's a lot of Southwest influence and decorations.
It's really cool. Really like it. So, but anyhow, yeah, the roads here are pretty rough. It's a big city. Tucson is huge.
It's a lot bigger than I don't know what I expected, but it's bigger.
It's much bigger, very, very spread out.
Yeah, it's kind of like ABQ. Like, I wasn't expecting Albuquerque to be so big, and it was huge.
Yeah. Okay, so not all the roads are horrible, but a lot of them are. Not knocking Arizona, we love it here. Anyhow, we're kind of heading in the direction of West Saguaro National Park, and this is kind of the way to get there. It's kind of an interesting area to us. The mixture of trees, like you have palm trees here, and the cactus, and then just the typical trees that we have. And I'm pretty sure at higher elevations, and I know for sure, yeah, pine trees. Anyway, it's a really cool terrain, I think. Very diverse.
The vegetation.
Yeah, the vegetation is awesome. Alright, visitor center is to the right.
In about 1 mile, turn right onto Red Hills Visitor Center Access Road.
So we're at the visitor center. We're going to talk with one of the rangers, hopefully, and find out the best way to spend our day. And it's an Adobe style building, pretty cool. It's a beautiful area. The colors are beautiful. It's spring. You can tell it's spring. Lots of flowers blooming, pretty. So this is behind the visitor center. Wow, beautiful. Okay, so these are talking about the saguaros and their life span. Can start out as small as your thumb and grow into maturity from 50 to 75 years. They start growing the arms. And these can live up to 200 years. Standing like desert sentinels, mature saguaros start life as a tiny black seed. These seeds usually germinate under nurse plants, but only a few survive to become mature saguaros. Look for young saguaros growing low to the ground. Those that are about the size of your thumb may be several years old. In contrast, tall saguaros with many branching arms can be 175 or 200 years of age. Known as ancient giants, these cacti eventually die, decay, and drop woody internal skeletons to the ground. A saguaro's internal framework consists of woody ribs surrounded by water, storing tissue called cortex. When filled, cortex is about 85% water. A saguaro's exterior pleated skin may have a brownish tone. This coloration may signify maturity, not necessarily depletion of water or impending death. And of course all the other cacti and flowering plants. It's really pretty out. Beautiful day. Perfect temperature. So, wow, what is all that? Tons and tons of different plants out here. Shannon got stabbed this morning. She accidentally got a little too close to one of the cacti with bushes with thorns. But everything out here has a thorn on it. So.
Park the van too close to the vegetation.
So yeah, when you're out here you need to watch out because everything has thorn. Pretty much. It's pretty. This is kind of an interpretive trail. It's behind the visitor center. We're just kind of checking this out while we're waiting for the visitor center to open. All right, so we're going to take the loop drive and then pick out a few trails, but this is the Bajada Loop Trail, or Bajada Loop Scenic Drive, I'm sorry. And then there are places to park and trails that shoot off in different areas along this scenic loop. So that's kind of what we're going to do. We're a bit bummed because the visitor center was pretty much closed because of their computer system was down. But anyhow,
It's the story of our lives.
so away it goes. So
We're still here.
all right. All right, so this is the scenic road. It is a hard packed dirt road.
It says it's manageable for all vehicles.
Yep, it says it's manageable for all vehicles. It's a bumpy ride. So the trails are marked so you can easily kind of find your way around because you can see there's all kinds of little trails. Some of them might be wildlife paths, animal paths, but for the most part it's pretty easy to navigate through. And look at this one. Wow. So his arms are coming down. And he's been around for a while, this one. Pretty cool. The ocotillo, although not a cactus, this funnel-shaped shrub is covered with sharp spines. The ocotillo evades dry, hot summer conditions and retains moisture by dropping its leaves. After sufficient rain, ocotillo leaves regrow within 48 hours. During most of the year, this plant's tall, dry-looking stems appear dead. In April, bright red orange flowers blossom on branch tips. Chain fruit chihuahua, named for its hanging grape-like clusters. This chihuahua and the teddy bear chihuahua reproduce mainly by dropping plant parts that later take root. other Hoyas reproduce from plant segments or seeds. So it says to beware, even if you gently brush past it, the segments will adhere to your skin and they are painful. So we will heed that warning and continue on. Like a miniature saguaro, the hedgehog cactus stores moisture in its trunk, shades itself with thick rows of spines, and gathers water through a shallow, stringy root system. It is the first cactus to bloom in the spring with beautiful lavender purple flowers, and its sweet, juicy fruits are an important food for birds and rodents. Palo Verde. How many plants along this trail have green branches? The yellow-green branches of the Palo Verde, Spanish for green stick, help distinguish this tree from many of the other plants in the desert. This tree protects young saguaros from direct sun, cold weather, frost, and predators. And this is the plant
I think that got me.
that Shannon got poked with today. So all along the trail, these pretty white flowers are blooming. I'm going to look those up when we get back. Not sure what they are, but they're really, really pretty. And there's also some purple flowers blooming as well. You'll see them throughout. Teddy bear Hoya gets its name from its short, chubby branches from the fuzzy appearance caused by thousands of sheath-covered spines. Segmented branches called joints follow the plant easily. These joints land on the ground where they may take root, producing a new plant. Beware, these can adhere to your skin and be painful. And this is the plant that they're referring to. They're all over the place out here. And this is the cherry at the end of this trail. Wow, just incredible. After exploring the east side of the park, we decided to head over to the west side. So we had to drive, what, 25 miles, Shannon?
Yeah, but it was like an hour.
Right. There is an east and west Saguaro National Park. but it's quite a trek from one side to the other. The
The
traffic
destination is on your right.
horrible.
Saguaro National Park. Arrived.
But we're here. All right, so the east side of the park is paved.
An 8-mile scenic loop.
It is an 8-mile scenic loop that is paved.
The west
side, however, is not. You will go on a paved road up until about the visitor center, and then past that, you'll take a right onto a hard pack dirt road that's very, very washboardy like. And I think it's about a 6-mile loop on the west side. So we're grateful to know that this is a paved scenic loop, so we don't have to bounce all over the place. All right. Isn't that beautiful? And this is what you're looking at from the car. So we're going to get out on this loop to this desert ecology trail. This is a paved trail, so it's handicapped accessible. And maybe we'll get to see some cool things along the trail. And by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned yet, we are in the Sonoran Desert. We traveled through the Chihuahuan Desert. Now we are in the Sonoran Desert. There's some old looking cactus here. Now there must be some special reason why they have this circled down here. Yeah, look at that. It's one of the things I read about the saguaro cactus. You see this one right here? A lot of them will seed underneath these big bushy plants for shade until they reach a certain age, and then they can grow in the full sun. But they tend to start out like this. It's pretty cool. So a lot of times near some of these bigger cactus, you will see that they've grown up around maybe one of these trees or these bushes out here. We are at the Javelina Rocks. It says, the layer cake looking rock here is called Javelina Rock, named after its favorite inhabitant, the javelina. Other small animals also find these rocks ideal for shelter and shade. The rocks in this area are composed of Catalina gneiss, ancient granite changed by forces deep in the earth along a detachment fault. Now raised to the surface, the rocks reveal bands of minerals caused by the stretching and movement of the Earth's crust.
This is the Centennial Saguaro. Sprouted from a tiny black seed in 1916 and was carefully transplanted here to mark the 50th anniversary of the National Park Service. In 2016, both the cactus and the service celebrated their centennial of 100 years.